before the Cleveland Cavaliers won the NBA title last year, obviously everybody knew about this drought of more than a half century without a championship for the professional sports teams in Cleveland. But the Cavs changed all that, all after LeBron James made himself a little vow.
It seemed once again fate was conspiring against Cleveland because this also was the year Golden State had a historic regular season. And the Cavaliers get there and they get down 3-1, and no team ever come back from that.
Everyone was saying, oh, no, no, no. But he kept saying, yeah, this is, get me to Game 7. We can get this done.
We have an opportunity to do something special, and I don't care what the history has said.
As night fell on June 19th, 2016, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Cleveland still held the longest gap between championships in professional sports, 52 years.
Carrying all the memories of an AFC championship game to, the Ernest Biner fumble, to Jose Mesa not being able to close out in the World Series, to the Michael Jordan shot, to us last year, in the finals. It's just so many heartbreaking moments that we had in our history.
It was labeled a drought, a curse. It was blamed on bad luck, ineptitude, failure. The feelings endured for all those years: anxiety, frustration, disappointment.
Cleveland at one time had this clinically depressed kind of attitude. No matter how great things were, the world was coming to an end.
Cleveland's misery with their sports teams was evident in the football playoffs against Denver, where John Elway drove his team 98 yards to tie the game and send it to overtime. Next year, they play in the AFC Championship again.
I've messed it up for my guys, for my team.
Fumble the ball, and Denver has recovered. Oh, my!
Ernest Biner fumbles on the 1-yard line after playing the game of his life.
We just knew we was going to the Super Bowl. We just knew it, you know what I'm saying? And then when he fumbled the ball, you just sat there, it's just like, this is unbelievable.
I actually pulled the ball in and then was trying to let this guy basically let it fall off because I'm breaking tackles all day. And boom, ball just drops.
Cleveland's misfortune came many ways. On the hardwood, it took the form of a prolific 6'6" shooting guard who happened to play on a different team in the same division.
Well, for me, it was the shot when Jordan skyrocketed over Craig Elo.
Saw Michael Jordan firsthand. That sucker was lightning fast.
I remembered glancing back because I just kept going and seeing it hit the rim and thinking it's not going to go in, but it just went boom, boom.
Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win it! They win it!
The shot went in and our season was over.
It was not like it was something that he could control. I mean, he did the best he could as far as defending the guy.
That's the iconic moment for him. And then you see me kind of go off to the side, just kind of devastated.
8 years after the shot doomed the Cavaliers, fate brought the Indians within 2 outs of the crown in Game 7 of the 1997 World Series against the relative upstart Florida Marlins.
The whole feeling in the city at that time was that the Indians were not going to be denied.
The 1-1 pitch. A deep drive to right. Ramirez on the run. Makes the catch. Tagging is Alou. Game 7 of the World Series is tied. The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
In the grand scheme, it probably shouldn't matter how often a city wins championships. When the identity of the people is so entwined with the plight of their teams, the melodrama of sports takes deep root. And while losing happens, nobody wants to be a joke.
If you go back and think about the fact that, all the years without the titles, after a while it almost became a point of pride. I'm a fan in spite of all this futility.
Welcome to Oakland, California for Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals.
That day, victory on the road against the highly favored Golden State Warriors was thought by many outside Ohio to be impossible.
They won the title in 15. They won more regular season games than any other team in NBA history in 16.
Fans were very shielded. They were very guarded against having that kind of agonizing, unfortunate finale occur to them again.
Iguodala puts it up. Oh, LeBron tracked him down and made the rejection.
In sports, an event is a true miracle if it is truly unprecedented.
It was so miraculous to see how they just came back from like that. No one does that.
Irving's picked up by Steph Curry, 6 to shoot. He launches a 3. Hey! Nailed it! Believe it, Cleveland. The Cavaliers are NBA champions, and the impossible dream has come true.
This guy who grew up in Northeast Ohio, played here, left, came back, and then broke this 52-year drought by delivering a title, and then stands up with that trophy and tears in his eyes and says,
Cleveland! This is for you!
I even get chills thinking about it now, that the first thing LeBron thinks to talk about is Cleveland.
And you can really see, like, the pressure come off of him. He's like, it's like the weight of the world being lifted off of him.
Just carrying all of that on my back, it's truly a blessing and truly humbling, man. I'm at a lost words for it.
The city had not felt the euphoria of championship triumph since the Cleveland Browns won the NFL championship game in 1964. The same year, the Ford Mustang was introduced and Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act.
your teams they're not the heart of the city, but they're the blood that pumps through it.
After years of darkness, the clouds broke, and over 1.3 million people paraded into the streets to bask in the light. They came from all over, Ohio City to Collinwood, Tremont to Glenwood, Chagrin Falls to Akron.
Everybody in the state of Ohio was in Cleveland on that day, for real. It was crazy.
That celebration that they had for the parade was amazing. I could not believe what I watched.
To be a part of that, to see the joy that was in Cleveland and the outpouring of love, it was magnificent. The energy, man, was, I can still feel the chills now.
I'll feel like when they hang that banner in the rafters that we all can feel part of that championship.
On the very night the Cavaliers hang that banner and get their championship rings, there will be one other diamond of note on the Cleveland sports landscape. Just across the way, the Indians will be taking the field in the opening game of the World Series.
This year, with the Cavs winning it and the other sports teams doing what they've done, yeah, I guess you feel the bond is what it is. Our hearts are in it, and now all our hearts are as one.
Though the odds were against us and the history wasn't in our favor, we beat the odds and we set new history.
For a city that has survived as long as we have without a championship team, to do it in a way that no one has ever done it, made it even more special.